Hey, it's Whitney from EcoVeganGal.com, and this is another uncensored video. I'm having a rough day, and I often find that one of the best things you can do when you have a rough day is to talk about it, even when you're not talking live to anybody. Just talking to yourself can help. But I know I'm talking to you all out there, just not live. One thing that really motivates me to keep going with what I do and all these different channels and different videos that I do is the response that I get from people that watch them, saying that I've inspired them in some way or they can relate. I got a really nice email the other day from someone who makes amazing products that I use. So if you're watching, thank you for your email. You know who you are. I wish I had the time to get back to all the emails right away, but I intend to at some point. So why am I having such a rough day? Well, I guess the easiest way to say it is that I feel attacked and bullied by some people. One was somebody very close to me, and the other was a viewer of my channels. And it just made me think about, it made me want to talk about it and talk about how I handle bullying or attacks. And the big thing is that it's so hard to accept that not everybody is going to understand you or agree with you. And honestly, I think that's probably one of the hardest parts of being human. And one thing that we all struggle with, and the thing that causes wars, and the reason why we may never have world peace, is because there's something within us that's made it almost impossible for us all to get along and all to see eye to eye. I guess that's what makes us unique. You know, we don't know what it would be like to live in a world where we all agreed. Maybe it would be boring. I don't know. You know, I wonder, I always try to learn from any hurt that I feel, any moments of insecurity or doubt. I just try to learn from it. That's really all you can do to move through it. I don't see the use in getting angry. I allow myself to be upset, maybe frustrated, maybe sad. But I also just really want to learn and grow. And I feel like that's the best thing that you can do. You know, unless you're being threatened, which sometimes it feels like people are verbally threatening us. Hopefully, I really hope that I'm never physically threatened. Sometimes I fear that, especially since I give so much of myself away online. Who knows what people are going to do? I don't know who exactly watches my videos. And, you know, it's so interesting because I put the information that I do out there in the world because I want to inspire people by telling my own story. And it's so hard sometimes when people react negatively to the things that I do. You know, and it's logical to be able to just brush it off and all of that, but some people can be really cruel. And then, you know, the personal things too. It's like, it just makes me wonder on a bigger picture why some people feel the need to hurt others. And at the end of the day, it's all about a hurt. I know that in my personal life right now, the attack that I felt has come from a place of hurt. Somebody felt like I hurt them. I never intended to. I never would want to hurt anybody. But unfortunately, sometimes just living our lives and making decisions hurts people. You know, and then in terms of online attacks too. It's like I'm just expressing myself, and it's really hard sometimes. But there's something in me that just keeps going no matter what. No matter how many thumbs down I get on a video, or negative comments, or people trying to argue with me, it hurts in the moment, but it doesn't stop me. And I'm grateful for that, and I hope that all of you do the same in your own life, whatever it may be. Because the worst thing that we could do is stop because somebody told us that we shouldn't do it, or they don't like the way that we do it, or they don't like what we're doing. I've tried before, I've spent a large part of my life trying to modify my actions in a way that will least hurt others. I've always been a little bit of a perfectionist, or a lot of a perfectionist, wanting to please everyone, wanting to be someone that everybody likes, wanting to never hurt anybody, wanting to just be equal, balanced and even, and just a bright light. And I've recognized that, unfortunately, you can't live your life the way you want to and please everyone. And it's a very sad reality to face. You can be pretty even, I found that I can be as neutral as possible, and balanced as possible, and bright as possible. And overall, most people seem to see that. It's just very sad, as anybody would feel, when you're rejected or attacked, and people hone in on your weaknesses instead of your strengths. I know that everybody knows how that feels. Everybody's gone through that. I would say that the worst thing that you can do, in my experience, is to attack back. It can be really hard. We can be very reactionary. But if you can react with love, if you can react with compassion, react with vulnerability, honesty, that person might not accept you, but at least you've done the best that you can, and you've come from a place of positivity and love. Dealing with online people is challenging. The person that I'm dealing with right now is relentless, and it's scary to me. I don't entirely know how to handle it, and I hope that it doesn't escalate any further. And I wish that there was something that I could do about it, but it's also, sometimes you have to realize that you can't make things better. Sometimes trying to make things better makes things worse, and that's happened again in my personal life too. It's, I'm always striving to make people feel good. I'm always striving to make myself feel good, and make things better, and help other people out, and improve situations. And sometimes when you try, it just makes things worse. Sometimes you have to just let go and walk away from it, and that can be really hard. That can be really hard, coming from a place of wanting to make a difference all the time, wanting to help all the time. It's hard acknowledging that it's not your responsibility, that you have to take care of yourself and do what's best for yourself. And know that deep down, or hope that deep down, nobody ever means to hurt anybody else. We're just all reacting to our own experiences in life, which are so varied, so intricate, yeah. And we just, it's like with anything else. All we can be is our best. You can't be responsible for anybody else. Even our family members, like my sister, for example, we are so different, even though we had very, very similar lives, very similar genetics. We look completely different, we talk differently, we want different things. It's amazing how each person is different. Even twins. can be so different from each other. So how could we ever expect someone that grew up in a totally different world from us, a totally different family and culture and traditions and just experiences? All we can do is try to have compassion for them and faith in ourselves. I'm going to close off the comments on this video, at least at the moment, because I'm feeling really vulnerable. And sometimes, you know, I appreciate so much of your comments. The positive comments touch me so deeply. But just due to some of the recent things I've been experiencing, I'm not in a place where I want to bring in any further input. However, if you would like to message me privately, you can do that here on YouTube and Facebook. And I will at least read it, I promise you. And one day I'll be able to respond to all of you, and just know that every word that comes from you, even the negative ones, they hit my heart. And I appreciate it all. So thank you. Thank you for watching. And I hope that, like with any video that I do, that this inspires you in some way, and you at least know that you have me as somebody who understands. Someone that's there for you, even virtually. So that's my intention, is to have us all be there for each other. Because I feel like you're here for me too, and that means the world. So thank you. Thank you for being in my life in that way. And I encourage you all to make your own journal videos, because it does feel good. Especially when you know that people are watching. Alright, until next time.